Hey guys, what's up? You know, it's your girl Ancelena Versatility Boyd. Welcome back to my channel where you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So today I have something new for you. Yes, I promised you a video and I am following through on my promise. So joining me on set today will be my husband, and he will be speaking to us about his COVID-19 experience. So guess what? Get yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of orange juice, get some popcorn, and stay tuned to the channel. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As I promised you earlier, my husband, Mr. Jason Boyd, will be joining us, and here he is, the man himself, and he will be telling us about his COVID-19 experience. So Jason, tell us, how did you find out that you had COVID-19? What was the diagnosis like?
Well, I had some temperature problems, meaning that.
So, back to when you were sick, you were feeling, the Saturday morning you told me that you weren't feeling well, you were going to work, and you came over to kiss me and you told me you don't feel good.
Yes.
Right. So that's when it all started.
Okay, so I just came in the evening. I felt sick. Not sick like I'm gonna die, but sick when my body was hot. And
temperature,
so I had a fever.
Mm-hmm.
I then told my wife that tomorrow, because of the COVID thing that we're going through, I'm going to check it out. That was to backtrack a little. I stayed a few days because after I went to the hospital to check it out.
So you went to the hospital the Monday,
Mm-hmm.
and you checked it out, and they told you you had a chest infection. Right? And they sent him home.
Because at that time I wasn't breathing properly.
Right.
All right. They sent me home, bought some medications,
Mm-hmm.
and came home. I was taking those medications, but one morning I got up and I was like, no, I can't take this anymore. They really have to look me over.
So that was the Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Because prior to that, when he went to the hospital, he told me that they told him it wasn't COVID-19.
Yes.
They ruled out COVID-19 the Monday. So I was saying, when he told me that, they said they did a test and it's fine, it's not the COVID-19. I was saying, how can you do a test and get back the result so soon? So I was sort of questioning it, because most of his symptoms, they were really directing to COVID-19, so I was sort of concerned. But when he came back home and they said it was just a chest infection, I said, all right then. So it was there up until the Friday. You decided that you were going to go back to the hospital. Tell us what happened from there.
I didn't know that it took a week for us to get back the results.
Right.
So if we had known, if we were given that knowledge straight up by the ministry, maybe we would have understood, like, when we go, we should even quarantine ourselves in that week,
right.
or just to be on the safe side.
Yes, because he came home
because
to his
I came
family,
home to my family,
and we were sleeping together, we were eating together, we were using the same bathroom and everything.
Yes.
So we were not protected any at all.
Exactly. So when I went to Maypen,
that's the Friday.
Sorry about that. So when I went to the hospital, the other time, this time,
yes, the
second time, they checked me over again. They put me on some salt water. I think we call that the IV drip. And after that, they said that a doctor would have come and spoken to me. When the doctor came, the doctor said, I was positive for COVID, and I would have to be put on ward immediately.
So I am saying this to say no. the test result that he had done the Monday, I guess that's what they know got back.
Yes, a week
For
later.
sure. So they got back, so now they were certain
that
that you
COVID.
were COVID-19
Exactly.
positive. And you also said that they said you weren't breathing
Properly.
so you needed oxygen
Yes.
immediately. Let me tell you something. He did not call me. His mother called me. Even though in the back of my mind I was thinking about it, but when they said it was chest infection, it kind of put my mind at ease. But to get the news that my husband had the COVID-19, when I heard, I had to sit down, because you know this virus, it is really unpredictable. We don't know how a person body would really
Yes.
react to it. So that was my concern, and then my concern just went straight to my daughter, because I'm saying we were here together, we were totally exposed. So I was scared, but in the midst of all that, I said, I prayed, and I just put everything in God's hand, and I asked God just to cover myself and my daughter. You may continue.
Yes. So literally I was put on oxygen same time, and I was carried off to a ward, isolation ward,
Yes.
where they held all the persons who were confirmed COVID positive persons.
Mm-hmm.
Now they carried, once I was there, they spoke to me about the medications that they will be administering, and tried to get me settled in, right? They were very professional, and I really admire that about that department of the Mayfair Public Hospital. They were really professional. Trust me, they outlined everything. They put everything into perspective. They try to speak to me. You know, this is not a death sentence, and they were just trying to encourage me, not to worry myself, stuff like that. But I remember one night I was there, and this old man was across from me, and he wasn't breathing properly from the day I got there, and he was always crying, in pain, stuff like that. And I remember the night that he passed, he was there. One of the nurses was trying to change one of the tubes that he had, and after the tubes were changed and he was dressed and put back onto the bed, or set on the bed properly, just a few minutes I was sitting there in my bed and I was watching the gentleman, and I heard him blowing short, and one of the nurses came in to check on him and realized that he was blowing short, and it's just like a few minutes he just went, and I realized that in that time that maybe that could have been me, and I wasn't in me as in maybe if I had some underlying symptoms or stuff like that, or some sickness,
Yes.
I would have maybe passed because of that. But good thing I'm not a smoker.
And thanks be to God. Also, we have to give
And
God thanks.
we have to give God thanks also,
Yes.
because God was actually looking over us to make sure that nothing worse happened.
So you were there for how
I
long?
was there for a week.
You were there
For a week, yeah.
So it was one night turned into
A
a
week.
week, and trust me, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for me at all, because I had to be traveling back and forth, ensuring that he had his food, he had his meal, and so forth. And I remember the first day I went down to the hospital, I wasn't even thinking, because when a person really has the COVID virus, there are certain precautions that you need to take. So I brought a bag for his stuff to be put in. But because I didn't know that I was supposed to bring a garbage bag, and nobody said anything to me. They gave me his clothing just like that, and I was exposed again, as I said. And it was the second day that I went there that this Chinese doctor said to me, you know that you're not supposed to touch his stuff. And he said, do you have something else that you can put them in? And I said yes, and I went and I got a garbage bag. So today I am just giving God thanks because my daughter and I, we were well exposed to this virus. And when I went to do the test, we were all COVID negative. And I know it's not just a mere accident, but it's the man, the big man himself that really protected us. My husband, he just had to go through that experience for us. And we want to talk about when you came home. How was it when you came home?
So the quarantine part, it's knowing that my family is basically in the other room or across there.
Yeah, next door to you.
Next door. We were where I live. There is 2 houses in the yard. So there was an empty room in one of the houses. So I was quarantined in that side.
Yes, because you know that you have to be somewhere where you have your own bathroom and your own space.
I was quarantined there. I had to be fed through a window.
Not all the time.
Most of the time.
Not most of the time. Because I put on my shield and I put on my coverage and I put on what I needed to put on my foot.
So
and I came over.
My wife usually dressed like one of the nurses.
You call me a ninja. Yes, you call me ninja.
Yeah, you know, and I brought my dinner. There I was given a list where I had to check my temperature every day for 14 days.
At 6 a.m. in the morning, so I had to get up, make his breakfast by that time, go over and take his temperature.
Yeah, so 6 in the morning and 5 in the evening. So those times were the times the temperature was checked. I would implore though, for those who are watching, follow if you get COVID-19 positive and you are quarantined at home. Please just stick by the regulations, because I've heard a lot of stories where people put on their phones or the phone that they're tracking them on and then leave the house and go into the community and then spread it. I know that there's a lot of myths out there, a lot of persons don't believe it.
Right, so we just have to be more mature.
You understand? So
about this.
Even if you don't believe it, I would say, even if you don't believe it, just take the precautions. You know,
because you're not just saving yourself, but you're saving the lives.
Because that can spill over to your children, can spill over to your family, as I said before, the community at large, and that does not look good on your community. Trust me. When you hear that, this community has been quarantined because suspected COVID outbreaks, it doesn't look good. So I would say, just stay within the parameters. After the 14 days were over now, I had to go to the health ministry's office, the Clarendon branch, where I live in Clarendon, and we went there. I got a release form from them to say that I am now COVID free, based on the process that I went through. Since that time, I've been taking that extra precaution. Also, with the mask wearing, I try to change my mask every day. Every day. But I remember the doctor said to me, 4 hours on, take it off, breathe for an hour and a half, put it on back, because when your face is covered by the mask, we are not beings that should be taking in carbon. So we end up inhaling back the carbon that our body is emitting, which is waste. So we're taking back the waste in our body. Now, so because of that, now every 4 hours for me, when I'm at work or on the road I try to take off the mask for a while and breathe. Alright?
And just to interject you, one thing that I want to really applaud my husband for, even when he got released from his quarantine, he decided that he would not come over, and he spent another week just to ensure that his family was protected, and that's something I really want to applaud him for. He put us first. You know, you would have wanted to come back and come and socialize his daughter and everything, but he said, guess what? I am going to stay one extra week to ensure that you guys are fully protected.
Or maybe I just wanted to get away.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just kidding.
Right.
But yeah, I had to. I had to make certain for myself,
Yes.
not for
The
what the
virus
doctor
was fully
said.
out of
Or
your-
anything. I had to make sure for myself.
Yes.
You know, I wanted to protect them as best as I can, because I was furious when I found out I was COVID positive. I was furious at the hospital.
As you were wondering.
I was so furious because I was saying, listen, man, you tell me say. I just switched to the local vernacular. So, I said, you tell me say, me COVID free, and then you gonna tell me again say me COVID positive. I said, no, man.
So that
know?
was an error on their part, and we all do make mistakes, so we're not going to really bash them or anything, but we're putting it out there to those person. Even I know that some person really ostracize or they stereotype against those persons who really have the COVID-19, and that can put them in a real mental state. At that time, they need friends, they need their family to be around them, you know, just to talk with them, just to encourage them. But some of us, we just push people and shove people aside. I'm going to implore you out there, don't do that. The best thing, as I said, I was a caregiver. I didn't let anybody at all care for my husband. I was his sole caregiver. And what I did, I used the sanitary plates, forks and cups, things that we know that we just dispose of them. So I am just saying this to other persons. You might go through the experience at some point in your life, or you may have gone through it. Kudos to you. So I'm saying how to protect yourself. Ensure that you have your sanitization area, because I had that in the kitchen. So once I go over there to visit him, I have my hand soap, I have my Lysol wipes, I had my Lysol. So once I come back over, I ensure that I wash my hands, and I ensure that I sanitize my hands also.
There are people out there that don't, I really would say they don't have the money.
Yes.
They can't afford to buy Lysol. It's a really hurtful thing. They can't afford to buy Lysol, they can't afford to buy even one of those soaps that have in the Dettol soaps or so. I would say there are other routes you can use. If you can get alcohol,
Yes.
you can use the alcohol.
75% grease.
You can use the alcohol as a cleaning agent. You can mix it up with some what's that soap again? The liquid soap to wash your hands and stuff like that. And that will help. If you can't afford the cloth type mask, you can get those little smaller
disposable ones. Yes, only $100, and some places I believe it's $50.
Exactly. So
yes,
do your best. It's a time now
protect
that we're living in.
yourself.
So just do your best and try to do the best. Do the best.
Yes.
Do the best that you can do. Try to protect your family. Try to protect those around you, and at large, as I said before, the community. Yes.
So thank you, Mr. Boyd, for just sharing your experience with us today. And I just want to implore us out there, continue to follow the COVID protocol. They are in place to protect you and protect your family, those you love, those around you. Wear your mask, keep your physical distance, whether it is at church, work, school, wherever it is. They're there to protect you. So guys, I hope this video was edifying. I hope you have learned something, and I just want to thank you for staying tuned to my channel. Yes.
Just for promotion wise,
Oh
I
yes.
have a good friend I'm a part of his team. His name is Dushan.
Yes.
He is the mind behind this brand.
Yes.
And it's called
Rich Boys.
Rich Boys. Now, he has a store that has been is opening in Kingston. And I'm gonna put the description
in the description.
I'm gonna put the link in the description below. shopbridgeboys.com. If you want to order it through me, I'm gonna put it in the description also. And just link me up. Link us up.
Yeah.
And rep Bridge Boys.
Yes. All right. So love you guys. Thank you, as I said, for your support over. Well, yes, it has been a year. So I thank you and I really appreciate and love your support. Take care. Bye bye.